have joining us soon esteemed panelists, Mr. Prashant Pandey, CEO of Radio Ficci, Mr. Sunil Lulla, MD and CEO Times TV Group, Mr. Karan Katyar, CEO Reliance Media World, Ms. Punita Aurugam, CEO Madison India, Mr. William Stegman, CEO Funix, The Netherlands, Mr. L.V. Krishnan, CEO TAM Media Research Private Limited, Mr. Paritosh Joshi, CEO Star CJ, Mr. Tariq Ansari, MD Midday Multimedia Limited, and Mr. Pradeep Srivastava. We're now about to start off with a very interesting session entitled Evolving Role of Radio in the Media Mix.
We're talking about an extremely exciting medium called radio. There was this recent report that Punita's company brought out which said that finally radio has crossed the 5% mark, as in it is now 5% of the total ad spend in the country. Where does radio typically stand worldwide? Well, the data says that worldwide the share of radio in the advertising market is about 8.5%.
Radio's come of age, as they say. I think what made radio happen in this country was in the last phase the geographical expansion that radio's got in 90s stations and take that to a multiplier of at least 3 or 4. So about 300 cities in the country. I think radio is far ahead in its geographical reach and delivers a platform that is far, far more superior than anybody else.
Differentiation is a really risky strategy. When the buyer is only looking at the numbers, what is your total listenership number?
I think 2 points back to Tariq, which is that it is the radio industry's responsibility to go and lobby with the government. The government ain't going to do anything. They have learned in 63 years of India's independence this year that the license Raj is the best Raj. So unless we go and act up for them. One lesson that I think the television industry didn't pick up, and I think the radio should. We moved from 30 million homes to 40 to 50 to 100 million homes. We are not charging for 100 million homes today. Radio is growing. So you should actually, as the industry, pause and find ways to make that effective, which is you are getting more ears to listen to you.
I think everyone starts to experiment. So what you're actually looking at is risk avoidance and risk mitigation. Okay, that's what happens when you start to experiment. What was happening is that we were just trying to understand how the medium works. And most of the times when you're looking at risk mitigation at the initial stages, you're obviously looking at audience sizes to actually help you overcome that risk mitigation. So I think that is probably why the English content didn't survive compared to, for example, Hindi content or playing popular songs and all that.
In the Netherlands, you can compare the market in the Netherlands with a big city in India. Compare it with Mumbai. We got 10 serious players and maybe 20, 30 less serious players. My role as a CEO of a radio station became different the past few years. I became a brand manager. The facts and figures of the Indian market is that the radio has the best years ahead. The percentage in advertising spending in the Netherlands is more than 10%, I believe. There's a large way to go, and the dollar per capita is unbelievable. It's 50, 60 times higher than here in India. So you guys have got a long way to go, and there were years, the past few years, that radio was more profitable in Holland than television.